So I've been using the Robinhood Investing platform for the better part of 5 years now. Some might go as far as to call me the Robinhood Investing expert. But all jokes aside, and being completely serious, I do love using the Robinhood app, but there are a lot of quirks that come with it that I've gotten used to that I keep in the back of my mind whenever I go back to the app. These are the features that I don't really enjoy about Robinhood, what I wish they would change and improve upon. Robinhood, if you ever watch a video like this, please take some notes here. Now, I feel like I'm not alone in my thinking behind a lot of these different topics, so if you agree with any of these, make sure you leave a comment down below, and also leave a comment just saying what you think Robinhood should improve upon as they move forward as a platform. So before I jump into my portfolio, before I jump into the Robinhood app, let me just give you a quick little breakdown. On this channel, I do what's known as the Robinhood Challenge, where I take $100, invest it into the stock market every single week, and then I report back to you exactly what I did, my moves, why I made them. So if you're interested in learning more about investing, personal finance, growing your portfolio, then make sure you quickly jump down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification because you will want to be alerted when new videos come out. Now, with that being said, let me jump into the first thing that I want to talk about on this video, and I feel like everybody out there is going to 100% agree with this. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really hate waiting for features that other platforms already offer. Well, what do I mean by this? Well, first off, there has been a wait list for Robinhood Cash Management. I'm lucky that I'm off that list now. I was one of the first people to sign up. It still took over a month for me to be granted access, but there are people that have waited for so long for this feature and still don't have access to it. So cash management is one of them. Another one is fractional shares, where I've heard people sign up literally the day that fractional shares was announced, and they still don't have access to fractional shares. Meanwhile, I've heard stories of people that give away their referral code, and the people who sign up using the referral code have access to fractional shares right away. In my mind, that is completely backwards, and I feel like Robinhood should prioritize those who have been with them, the investors that are currently using the platform, to keep, their fan base going. I understand that it might entice some newer investors to jump into Robinhood, but I mean, come on, don't forget about the people who are already using your app. Another feature worth mentioning that you should get access to when you already have fractional shares is dividend reinvestment plans. With dividend reinvestments, you essentially are going to take those dividends that you're paid from your dividend companies you're invested in, and it's going to reinvest them back into the same company. Now, this is very, very solid. It just automates your investing even further. The next waitlist that I'm not even sure if it occurs because I was just given access right away to this feature is the automatic investments in Robinhood. So if you didn't already know, you can link it up with your bank account where you can make automatic investments into companies time and time again. So for example, if you wanted to invest $100 every single week, every single day, every single month into a company like Microsoft, there's a way to automatically do this within Robinhood. And for me, I don't know personally if there is even a wait list for this feature because the day that this was announced, I had access to it. I figured everybody else out there had access to it. So let me know in the comment section, do you see the screen when you go to buy a new stock? Can you set up that automatic investing? All right, now let's get into further detail about Robinhood as a platform. Let me jump right in and cover some of these things. So right off the bat, one thing that actually bothers me is this news section right here. And the reason why it bothers me is a lot of times there's outdated news. I always come through, I scroll through this. You can see for the most part, this is the past few hours, but sometimes when you're looking at these, you get things that are weeks and weeks old. I didn't have a perfect example of that happening right there, but usually when I go into that, I'll see things that are like 2-3 weeks old. And really, when it comes to news involving stocks, 2 weeks is like an eternity and a lot can happen. So you want the most updated news on this screen. But where they do a better job of this is when you go to search, you'll see more updated news. You can see as I scroll through this, typically these are within the last few hours. This one's 22 hours here. This one's 1 hour. Most of them are more relevant, and these are just news articles that are just interesting to read. But the thing about these news articles and doing research on Robinhood is they're already so limited in it, but this is just an interesting thing that I like to keep my eye on. But if you're doing your own research on these stocks, I wouldn't say that Robinhood is the place to do it. I would definitely use other programs for that. Now, jumping back to the home screen and scrolling down just a little bit, you can see that the way the stocks are organized seems like it's a really, really solid platform. Seems like it's really great because it's easy to see. You got your name of the stock or ETF you're investing in, the number of shares right below, and then you can sort by a few different things over here. You can do last price, you can do percent change, your equity, today's return, total returns, but honestly, there isn't a great way to sort this. So if I do my equity, you can see that all of my equity is going to appear on the right-hand side, but it doesn't organize it. And so you have to actually manually go in. When you organize your portfolio, if you want your highest equity, it might be down here and you have to manually move it to the top of your list. There's manual processes in this, and it really seems like you should be able to filter and sort your stocks much better to understand, even what types of companies, what industries they're in. It just seems like it would be already added to Robinhood as a feature, but they don't have it where other platforms have really, really great organization and filters. It's just, one aspect that I think that they're lacking. Another thing that I've noticed is that the way the actual portfolio gets tracked is a little bit off. So if I look back, let me go over this past year, you can see that at one point, it says I have $5,800 in my portfolio here. I've never had anywhere close to that number. I don't really know where that's coming from. But you can see right now I have $5,389. I think just as it drops down and I'm investing more money, maybe it, adds that to the overall value at that point in time. But I don't know, if somebody could explain that, if you understand what's happening there, then just leave it in the comment section down below. I'd really appreciate that. Another thing definitely worth mentioning is that the Robinhood platform has seen a lot of glitches in its day. At first there were some pretty good glitches, like the infinite cash that Robinhood was offering at one point in time. Now, obviously that was a joke and it was a bug that one Reddit user found, but they've since patched that where you could basically infinitely leverage your money and make these huge gambles on the stock market. And some cases it paid off, but other people lost out on a lot of money in this. And we didn't really see what happened as a result from all this happening. It was swept under the rug rather quickly. But more recently, what has happened is Robinhood's had such big influxes in their user base on a daily basis that sometimes they weren't able to support all of their users at once, and their app actually crashed and their platform was down for almost 2.5 days at one point in time. Now, for someone like me who's a long-term dividend investor, it really didn't matter that much because I wasn't planning on buying or selling during the times it was down. I usually buy every single Monday, and that's been true for, almost a year now. But for those people who are day trading, swing trading, this was monumental for an impact on their portfolio. Some people lost thousands and maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases. But honestly, if you are investing with hundreds of thousands of dollars, I probably would stay away from Robinhood and use maybe a more reputable branded brokerage that is well known in the community versus just, a mobile friendly app that is used mainly for beginning investors or investors who want just an easy access into a platform, because Robinhood by no means is the fanciest. It does get the job done and it is built out, rather smoothly. The interface looks great, but it's by far not the best platform, I think, in my own opinion, out there. Another thing that is just noteworthy of Robinhood is they're tailored to beginning investors, but they don't necessarily walk through their investors what all the features are and how they all work. So for example, if you use the Robinhood app and you are always doing what's known as market buys, meaning you're buying at whatever current market value is for stocks, ETFs, whatever you're investing in, and you don't set a limit price, you can actually get screwed out of your money because at one point in time, the stocks might shoot up in price and then drop real quickly afterwards. So you might end up buying a stock at a very high point in time and it's gonna crash very, very quickly. Now, what I've noticed is a lot of people when they first start using Robinhood, and even what I did when I first started using Robinhood, was day trade and swing trade and try and be, the next Tim Sykes who was gonna be millions, billions of dollars just trading on the stock market, and I thought all of these high hopes were gonna happen for me, but obviously that dream was crushed pretty quickly, and I realized, investing for the long term is a much safer, solid strategy. I think most people that join Robinhood have that same mindset and then start to tailor their investments in a different way as soon as they see that it doesn't work out for them. Now, in some cases it does work out, and that's really great. Kudos to all of you guys who are doing those day trades, more active swing trading, all of that stuff is really, really great. I wish I had the time and energy to put into that, but for me, having a passive portfolio is 100% the goal, and and I can sleep really, really easily at night knowing that if I hold my portfolio for the long haul, it's gonna end up going up in value and I'm gonna be doing a lot better than if I were personally trying to make those more risky investments. So when all is said and done, Robinhood is still my favorite investing platform. I don't want you guys to think that I hate it. I don't want my Robinhood fanboys out there to think, you know, I'm bashing the app, I'm gonna be switching, because I have been sticking with Robinhood, you know, with all of their quirks, with all of their shortages, their outages, everything going on. I've always stuck with Robinhood, and they're a platform that I really enjoy using. And it really, you know, is easy to show you guys and share with you my portfolio, my insight, because honestly, they have a nice user-friendly interface that is easy to present so everybody can get some understanding of what's going on in my portfolio. So let me know if I missed anything in the comment section down below. What do you guys hate about the Robinhood app? Or even leave some of your favorite features. You know, one of my favorite features on Robinhood is the array of stocks and ETFs that they offer, and you know, they have the ability to do different types of trading. They have, you know, options trading. You can just invest normally. There's so many different ways you can go about it. And they're also introducing crypto. Now, I don't have access to crypto because it's not offered in my state currently, which is a real bummer. Another thing that, you know, is worse off about Robinhood in my opinion. But honestly, I'm not a huge crypto investor. I was doing it back in the day. Boy, do I have some stories about that. So if you want to hear some of those, let me know. But Robinhood crypto is one thing, you know, it can be looked at as a positive or a negative depending on where you are and if you want access to it. Obviously, it's just another list that you have to be waiting on. So all said and done, really love Robinhood. Not going to stop using it anytime soon. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I hope you did take something away, and if you did, please smash that like button. Really does help out with that YouTube algorithm. It means a lot to me and it would help me promote my channel. So thanks again for checking out this video, guys, and have a great day.